Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to take a look at the recording toolbar. And to do that, we're going to open up our recording bar. And you'll notice that this is an active bar. So in other words, this is reflecting what is being recorded right now for this video. Now, where you're going to want to look going to be in this tools menu, and you're going to want to do this before you start the video. We're going to click Tools, and you'll notice that the Options key is grayed out. Now you're now looking at a screenshot of the Options tab. And what you're going to notice is that there is a section here for inputs, and there's a section here for hotkeys. You want to make sure that you know what's in the hotkey section. Now what you can do with these hotkeys is you can make it so that all you'll need to do is to hit a particular button when you want to affect some kind of major change while you're recording. And in particular, while you're doing the recording, you may often need to pause. Maybe you need to collect your thoughts. Maybe you need to change direction in the presentation. And you want to be able to do this in an easy to remember way. So you can set up your pause key and the recording will stop while you collect your thoughts. And when you hit F9 again, the recording will start again. So you don't have to start all over again when you think you might have made a mistake. You can stop the recording by setting up your stop hotkey. Now these two keys in particular are important while you're doing demonstration style videos because by using them you can record your videos in one take and edit them in one take instead of starting them and then never quite finishing the video. Now lastly, you'll notice that the mouse is moving on this page. When you edit your video, you can edit so that this cursor will be highlighted. It can be highlighted in a magnifying glass or it can be highlighted in yellow as it moves around the screen. And so while you are demonstrating, you'll want to be aware of what this cursor is doing in case you re-edit the video by showing the cursor either being highlighted or magnified. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. We are now looking at a video that's being edited inside of Camtasia 8. And regardless of your video editing software, you're going to have some decisions to make about editing. Now, one thing that we're going to do in the editing process is we're going to make sure that we edit in the highest resolution possible. And we're going to show you how to do this in Camtasia 8. You'll need to make sure that you can do the very same process inside of the video software that you own. Now the default settings in Camtasia when you start the final production process say 854 by 480. However, we want to make sure that this is going to be closest to our recording dimensions, which we should have done, if possible, at 1920 by 1080. So we want to make sure that we use those dimensions. Now, if possible, during the rendering process, we want to set our audio at the highest level that we can, and typically this is going to be right at 192 kbps. Now, in some cases, your video editing software will give you the option of being able to put metadata inside of the video file. Now, we will not have to do this because we'll be doing this inside of Amazon Video Direct. So where you have the project information, the author information, and even the iTunes information, you'll want to make sure that you have this correct for the upload process. You don't have to have it for the final production. And finally, for your video section, typically the default settings for a software application like Camtasia or Screencast-O-Matic will be correct from the start. However, you can make sure that your frame rate is going to be as high as you can if you can produce it at 30 frames per second or 15. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now there are several instances inside of the screens where you're going to be uploading your videos where you are going to be required to upload some graphics for your videos. And you may want to have some of these graphics created. So this video is going to detail the graphics you're going to need for your account. So to create the necessary artwork, When you are creating episodes or episodic videos, you are going to need seasonal art. And those are going to require some specific aspects to the graphics. You're going to need a widescreen aspect. You're going to need a 1920 by 1080 photo to appear correctly, and it can be JPEG or PNG. Now, there is key art that you'll need to create that is also a 4 by 3 aspect ratio. That'll need to be 1600 by 1200, JPEG or PNG. And there is an optional file that you'll want to upload that's a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. It's 1920 by 1080, JPEG or PNG, and this is going to be a background image. It's only going to appear on the devices in order to convey mood. And you'll see the request for the 3 of these when you are uploading your image. You'll see one here in the key art area as well as the background image. Now, you can also include artwork for individual episodes. That episode will require a key art aspect ratio of 4:3. It'll need to be 1600 by 1200, and it'll be JPEG or PNG. And you'll see that request when you are uploading your individual episode video. Now, for the standalone videos, the key art will have a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. It'll need to be 1920 by 1080, JPEG or PNG. Now, you'll also have another key art piece. This time, though, it'll be 3 by 4 aspect ratio, so not 4 by 3. That means then that the art will be 1200 by 1600. And again, you want to pay attention to that. It's a little different than the other size. That'll also need to be JPEG or PNG. Now, there's also space for a background image, and it'll need to be 1920 by 1080, JPEG or PNG, and once again, it's going to be optional because it's only designed to convey mood on certain devices. And you'll see that here in the standalone upload section, where the second key art piece is 3 by 4. Now, there's also a landing page that you're being given and you're going to be able to use along with your videos that will require you to have a logo. That logo will need to be 950 by 250. You'll need to use a PNG with a transparent background. You're also going to have a background image that will need to be 3000 by 600, as well as another background image which is 1920 by 720. So one question is, well, how will you create the designs? Now, what you can do is you can hire out the base design. You can hire those designs out on Fiverr or the Warrior Forum in the Warriors for Hire section. Now, when you do hire out these graphics, you want to make sure that you ask for the PSD file. In some cases, the designer may ask you for additional funds to do that, and it's actually going to be worth it for you to get those PSD files because you will then be able to adapt them and brand them for future designs when you do more videos. And you'll be able to keep a consistent design across all of your videos. Now, to do this, you are going to need some graphic editing skill, not a lot, but a minimal amount, and you'll need some kind of graphics editing application, something like Photoshop or an equivalent one. Now, another way for you to create the designs is to manipulate existing designs. You can use private label rights content where you have PSD files or graphics already, and you can change those designs to reflect your videos. If you have some kind of graphic design software application, this will be fairly easy. What you'll need to do is you'll need to use the flat PSD graphic, and by using that graphic, you'll be able to manipulate the design for the different sizes. Of course, you can also use a design program like Canva where you can do the design yourself from scratch. And of course, you can always use a hybrid version of all of these methods. You're now looking at a flat graphic design from a private label rights product inside of Photoshop. And what we can do is we can go and open a new file. It's going to be one of the dimensions that we need. So for example, we would go to this file area. We're going to click New. We're then going to open up this new size, and we want this new size to be 1920 by 1080. We're going to click Create. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our flat design. We're first going to select all. We're going to then copy merged. Then we're going to go back to our new design, and then we're going to place that design and paste it in. Now this is a 1920 by 1080 image, and so we want this design to be able to fit what we're trying to do. Now, when you have a PSD file, you can manipulate the size of this file without losing the proportions of the graphics and the text on the design. So for example, what we can do is we can zoom out of this design, and then we can grab the handles and we can manipulate the design in order to fit our canvas. We can make sure that we keep the aspect ratio in Photoshop. And once we have our design the way we want, all we're going to do is we're then going to click this button. We're going to apply the design, and you'll notice then that it'll actually clear up. We can then save this design as a new file, and we can save it as a new file in the format that we want. So if we want to use JPEG or we want to use PNG, we can do that. So again, if you know how to manipulate a design here, and you can actually go into the title and you know how to change the title and some of the letters and maybe even one of the images, this is an easy way to take a professional design and turn it into one for your videos. And it also demonstrates the fact that when you get a PSD file from the designer, all you'll need to do then is know how to manipulate that design so that you can begin placing it on all of your videos. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, whether you're creating an episodic video or a standalone title, you will be required by Amazon in order to place captions along with your video. So in order to do that, you are going to need a transcription of your video. Amazon does give recommendations for video captioning service or video transcription. And Amazon has its own transcription service called Amazon Transcribe, where you have a free tier, 60 minutes per month for 12 months. You will actually get an hour's worth of free transcription, and then afterward, the transcription is a small amount per second. Now, in order to use Amazon Transcribe, you are going to need to have an Amazon S3 account. And so if you have a file that's stored in Amazon S3, you'll be able to use that file along with Amazon Transcribe. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now, this video, we are going to walk through the process of uploading a standalone video. So to do that, you're going to click your videos. What you're going to do then is you're going to add your standalone title, and you're going to write in a title, pick a category, and then select the language that you want your metadata to be in. Once you do that, you'll then click continue. Now you'll then want to write in your synopsis. Now you want to make sure that this synopsis does not have self-promotional details. You aren't going to be able to put URLs in here, so you do want this to reflect what your title is going to be about. Once you've done that, you're then going to click the category or genre, and when you click inside of the area, you're going to notice that there's going to be a drop-down menu, and you're going to be able to find the exact category that Amazon Video Direct wants you to place. You'll then choose your language, and then you'll choose a release date. You'll then want to choose a rating, and in some cases, you are not going to have a rating for your title. If that's the case, you're going to click suggested rating, is that the title is not officially rated. And you can then make your title available for all audiences. You're then going to upload the art that you created. Now, if you already have an Amazon S3 account and you have that artwork loaded on Amazon S3, you can copy the file from your Amazon S3 account over into Amazon Video Direct. However, if your file is on your hard drive, you can upload that file by clicking the Browse button. Once you have everything on the page that you want, you'll then click Save. So once you've saved this page, you'll then want to move to the cast and crew page. You'll want to write in the name of the creator as well as your crew member. Now, Amazon Video Direct is going to require that you have at least one crew member, and what you're going to do is you're going to write in the role of that individual. And then if you don't want to have a cast member, you can leave this out. Once you have all this information ready, you can then click Save. You'll then move to your video assets section. And what you'll be doing then is you'll be uploading your file, your captions, and if you have a trailer, you can upload that trailer to this area. And once you have the necessary content, you can then click Save. So once you've uploaded your content, one thing you'll want to note is that in order to get your transcribed file to go along with the file that you're uploading with your video, it will need to be an SRT file or one of the formats outlined by Amazon. We'll now go to the Availability tab, and we'll choose where we want the content to be made available. We'll click all of the applicable places where we want it to be available. We'll determine how we want it to be streamed. And once we've done all that, we'll then click Save. And once you have uploaded and you have completed all of your titles, you will then be ready to publish your video for viewing on Amazon Video Direct. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we are going to produce an episodic video title. So to get started, we're going to click Your Videos. We're then going to click Episodic. We're then going to click Add Series. And we're going to give our series a title and synopsis. We will then pick a category. And then we'll pick our metadata language and click Continue. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create our listing for the actual season. And we'll need to write in another synopsis for the season. We'll then click our genres. We'll then choose our language. And where it's applicable, we'll write in the original release year. Now again, you don't have to add a rating, but if you want to do it that way, you want to click Suggested Rating, Title Not Officially Rated, and then make it available for all ages. You'll then upload your graphics according to the right dimensions. And once you have your seasonal information in, you'll then click Save. We'll then move on to the creator. Remember, you are going to need to make sure that you have at least one crew member mentioned. Now, if you really don't have a cast member, you don't have to place one there. You can then click Save. You'll then be able to move on to individual episodes, and you'll start by adding a new episode. And of course, each individual episode will have its own title, release date, synopsis, the video file, the captions file, and an optional art file. Now, once you upload episodes, what you'll need to do is you'll need to select the language, the frame rate, and then the language for the captions. Again, you'll want to make sure your transcription is going to be an SRT file, and then you'll click Save. Amazon Video Direct will start the upload process for your video. You then want to go to your Availability tab. You want to make it available in the locations where you want it to be seen. And again, you can determine either base pricing or value pricing. Again, that's based on your preference. And once you've done that, you'll then click Save. And once you've completed all 4 sections, you are then ready to publish your video so that others can begin to watch on Amazon Video Direct. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.